as an introduction for those who probably don't know you, or sorry, probably do know you, uh, Sib makes Sib makes the best content, shorts, anything related to cardistry that I've seen personally. Uh, Personally, okay, but yeah, creative force, beautiful, everything. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. What a
Yes.
great introduction.
Yes, and I'm joined by
Yeah.
Jessica, as always. Sam.
I'm here too. All right. So, yeah, welcome everybody. Let's jump right into it. Uh, let's talk about let's talk about your most recent project, your newest bundle. Tell us about it, I guess.
The unknown bundle.
Yes, the unknown
Um,
bundle. Nobody knows what's in it.
oh, it's a mystery. It's very mysterious, and that was actually the complete idea behind the bundle. Like, will people buy something where they don't actually know what they're buying? And I guess so. I'm, which is really great. Like I say in the intro of the bundle, I really appreciate the trust that people have in me. But yeah, I just thought that it was a interesting concept to have a bundle with 3 moves, and those 3 moves are the only moves that I made this whole year.
Yeah.
That was the first marketing idea behind it. Like, oh, I'm going to say that these are the only moves that I made this year, but then my mind just went off and it didn't stop until the point where it is right now.
Yeah, so those were the only moves you made this year. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I'm not sure if did you say that? I don't remember hearing about that in the bundle, and I bought the bundle, and I don't remember hearing about that in the actual like short you put in the bundle.
No, there is. I think I put a little bit of text on Gumroad itself. Like if underneath, I want this button. There was like, oh, the only 3 moves made by the original creator in the year 2020, something like that.
I see.
The part about
Okay.
your tutorial bundles that like really, I guess, blows me away is the fact that as a one-person team, you're creating the first ever tutorial bundles that we've seen that have themes, stories, anything attached to it that isn't just
Yeah.
here's a demo, here's a tutorial. Like if you think about Theory 11 and The Wire, people just used to put up tutorials all the time of them just talking. There would be no creative, I guess, after like you have a whole story attached to the mystery bundle. It's very, very interesting to me, at least.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not. I just think it's a little bit more. Like people can make more of tutorial bundles. It doesn't have to be like, oh, here's a slow motion clip of a move. And
Yeah.
that's what the first bundle I made actually looked like, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate
I
that
remember.
online. But
Yeah.
it's. I think it's really you got to make it more fun for yourself to do something, and for me that is, to make a story behind something.
Yeah.
Same
So
goes for Cardistry shorts.
Yeah.
so about how long have you been into cardistry? Because I would assume that you had an interest in filmmaking before you started. Maybe you picked it up around the same time. I really have no idea. Uh, but you seem to be into, I think of it this way, personally, that you make videos, really good, well-produced videos, and there happens to be a lot of really good cardistry in them. If you made really good videos with like really shit cardistry, your videos would still stand up on their own. They would be good. Maybe not in the cardistry community, but maybe on their own merit. Now, of course, your moves are like pretty good, I'd say. So I think of it kind of like it's a really weird blend that you mix by making high production videos, high production story, or high production vibes, and making really good, really, really good moves to go along with them. So I want to know really What did you get into first?
Well, both like magic / cardistry and filmmaking have been interests of me for a very long time. And I did both like on and off since I was maybe 5 years old. I always liked magic tricks and I always liked making videos, or, whenever there was a school project that involved something with the camera, then I was the one to do it. Um, but I think cardistry was the first thing that I actually started doing very actively. Like I was doing it that was very main focus for a very long time. And that started around 7 years ago, I think. So I was 9 years old. And then I've only started combining that with filmmaking stuff.
Hmm.
It's like 2 years, maybe. But only like this year is the year that I really try to do my own thing and not, try to do what other people would want me to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge because I see you
Yeah.
as somebody who's pushing boundaries, somebody who's a pioneer. It's yeah, with videos like Card Palace, the idea of cardistry being super accessible, like cardistry is very appealing in many ways, but because we're able to bring it anywhere, capitalizing on it by going around with a camera and filming, that's the best part of cardistry for me personally, or one of the best parts is being able to just go outside, go wherever, go around with a camera and just be filming.
Mm,
That's something that I see you pushing, and I'm very happy about it.
cool, thanks. Yeah, and I guess that's the same for cards themselves. You can go everywhere with a deck of cards in your pocket, and just there's a whole world in your pocket, and
Yeah.
it's a shame that not more people know about cardistry, because there's so much you can do with this small thing, and it's
Anywhere.
really incredible. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great,
It's
Yeah.
not even
really
illegal.
great. Not even illegal.
Yeah. So you've told me a lot. So we just spoke about Card Palace, Adam mentioned. This I think it was so interesting. I counted 14 different segments
Oh, you
of
counted
one
them.
video. Yeah, 14 different segments, one video. One of them is literally just is the Roadrunner intro. And I think it's so interesting because I would have never thought of, I don't think anyone really that I can think of would have thought, let's put the Roadrunner intro in the middle of my cardistry video. And it turned out great. It turned like you were able to switch vibes like just on beat. You were able to
Mm.
make totally different videos. You were in the car with your dad shooting a video, and later you're in a small house. So tell me about how did you think I want to make 14 segments? Did you think, how was your thought process making that video?
Right. There's a pretty big story around that video. And at first, James Chesmore and I had the idea to make a 30-minute long video that was in the style of, well, Card Palace, and we both have segments, and he would have it in the US, and I would have it here in the Netherlands. So that's how it started, and then I got super excited. My lens broke, so I had to buy a new lens, and guess what? That was a fisheye lens. Thank God that I bought that lens. Best purchase ever. Um, and I just kept filming because it was so exciting to see what the fisheye lens could do and how interesting it looked. And then at some point James was like, well, you're going too fast for me. So you just got to keep it for yourself. At first the project was called Secret Menu Item, and we actually teased it on our stories. Maybe maybe some people remember it because it looks kind of weird. But I had this title and it had secret menu item in the font and colors of the card palace text. And James posted one half of that title on the story, and I did the other half. So when people would go through the stories, you would have, oh, see me it, and then I would have the other half of the letters. So we already started like teasing it, and we never did it together. But what I've been trying to tell you for the past minute, but I just can't because my thoughts are going too quick, is that we wanted to make a video without posting it online, and we would just send the link to 5 friends and see where it ended up, and just let it go around. So if people wanted to share the video, they could. If they didn't, it's also fine. And we would just see how far the video would come. And to be honest, that was my plan as well when it became a solo project. And then when it was finished, I was like, fuck, there are so many hours in this video. And maybe people don't even like it. So maybe, it will stay within that group of 5 friends. And I didn't want that to happen. So I just posted it online, and, that's how it got made. That's basically it.
During
Yeah,
the
a lot of shit
process,
happened.
because this is where I think we can find a lot of gems, I guess, right? Is your process in creating videos is very unique. So specifically for Card Palace, was there any sort of conceptualizing or writing for each particular scene? Like, would you be planning out individual moments that you wanted to have happen? Like, would you have a script for it, for example? Like, what was that type of process?
No, it's like a lot of my videos, it's all improvised.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, it's so much fun, especially when you're doing it on your own, without anyone telling you what you can and can't do.
Huge.
Because like for the first shot, I when I'm standing on the couch and I'm doing the move and I move aside, and then there's a second version of me holding a deck of blue Fontaines up in the air. I was like, oh, how can I make this shot interesting while I was standing there on the couch doing the move? And I was like, okay, wait, I can just walk outside and then I can mask myself out and I can do that. And, my thoughts are going very quick at that moment. And I just go with it because nobody tells me that my thoughts are bad or that the thing that comes out of my thoughts are bad. So why wouldn't you follow those thoughts?
Exactly.
And
And
that's, yeah, a lot of shots from Cardistry shorts also come from that process. Just follow whatever you want to do at that moment, and that works for me. It's fun, so that's enough.
It's gotten
yeah,
you this far.
Yeah, I
for
guess.
for videos like I think you called the box hollow, right? Like, how do you remotely look at a room full of boxes, right? And you're like, okay, I'm gonna mask my hand here, 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 here. Let's do the, yeah. Like, how did you conceptualize that? It's crazy.
The style of that video was inspired by the great David Fincher. For those who don't know him, he's a fantastic director, and I'm 100% sure that um, every single person in this room has seen a movie of his. But he's so great. He's the director of The Social Network and Fight Club, so many more great movies. And I was a really big fan of Mindhunter while I was filming that video. And Mindhunter had a great compilation with the song that is also under the Cardistry short.
Mm,
So that's how I come up with the song and maybe the compilations idea. And then the box thing, where I find myself in the box, that's inspired by a short film by the great Christopher Nolan. He's another great director. And in that short film, he is basically chasing a little squeaky voice around his room, but you don't see what he is looking for. And eventually he catches it, and then when he lifts his hands up, it's a very tiny version of himself under his hands. And then he looks up and there is a really big version of himself, above him.
Yeah.
And that's basically how that whole following something but you don't know what vibe came from.
Wow.
Mm.
So, I'm just stealing a lot of small things from other directors and
Yeah.
I'm putting it in my own
Yeah,
thing.
The
and you do it in such
creativity.
a way
Yeah.
it's original. You steal. Nothing is completely original. Everybody steals a little bit, but you steal it such a way where it is original. You're not even stealing really, because you are turning it into something so much, so different. There isn't like a Cardistry movie. You can't steal a Cardistry movie. It doesn't exist.
Mm.
You make that. You make the Cardistry movies. You make the closest thing we got.
Yeah.
And they're great. Like, I'm satisfied. I've laughed. I belly laughed at Card Palace when you looked inside that piano.
Oh shit, yeah.
Dude,
That's my favorite part.
the creativity is ridiculous. It's like worth getting excited over. I I personally I could go on asking you about your process about each individual um, short film forever, but uh, yeah, I don't know. Is there anyone that as a group, me and Jessica, is there one that you specifically would like to know the process of? Because I don't want to keep asking forever. But yeah, is there anyone
Uh,
that that you're interested in
I'm not sure.
in hearing
I
about?
was I really liked your Halloween video.
um, I think that Halloween Fever is actually the first short where I had a plan that I came up with uh, before the day that I shot the Cardistry short in. Because most of the times when I shoot a video, it's like I wake up and I'm like, you know what? Today is the day for a new short.
Yep.
And Halloween Fever is the first video where I didn't have that. So I just, those ideas started building up over a short but longer amount of time. And I had a whole another idea that actually involves some background people. So I was trying to go big. I asked the neighborhood kids if they wanted to participate. Background figures. They didn't because they found Halloween scary.
Damn.
What a shame.
But what are you saying? Come on, man. Um, but then I think every shot I did one shot every day. So that first shot of the time lapse with the camera going down and the pumpkin, that
Yeah.
took me 4 tries. And what sucks about that is, well, the sun only goes down once each day. So, that's 4 days me sitting behind the camera for an hour in the cold,
Yeah.
just hoping that the camera doesn't fall. Um, but it works. And
It does.
what I love about that is also the freedom. And that's what I love about doing all of those videos is nobody is telling me what to do.
Yep.
And I think for everyone in this lounge and everyone um, watching this later, if you just follow your thoughts, then something unique will come out. And maybe, like I said, I think my thoughts are created by millions of smaller, very small things, but they eventually, all those millions of small things stacked up. Those are my thoughts. And I think that's the same for everyone. Everyone has like a database of movie fragments or sentences or words or whatever that you can use. And you can use that by just doing whatever you want. And it sounds like I'm giving a TED talk or I'm like you paid me $50 after seeing a YouTube ad. But it's real. I'm not trying to be motivational speaker here, but you know,
You're
Can't
right.
help it.
You're right. And on top of that,
It's
that
true.
is a gem. The concept. I mean, being able to think about okay, which idea inspired this idea, which inspired this idea, which is it's just like it's a whole cause and effect chain, which is relatable, to our own lives. It's very real. It's very real.
mhm.
Yeah.
And I
But
guess that
That was
Like
beautiful.
I'm just curious. Do you, Adam? Because I don't know if you do this, Jessica. Um, but how does it work for you when you make videos? Like, do you go after your thoughts, or do you have a plan, or you just find a beautiful shot, or I'm
For
really
some
curious.
videos, I've gone into it with ideas with like a rough outline. Some videos
Hmm.
I've gone into it knowing exactly how I want every shot to look like. But for the most part, like it's literally just I wake up, it's a nice day outside. I want to grab my camera. I want to go walk around, see like exactly what I can film. A lot of my time is spent literally just sitting in front of the camera, like pretending the camera isn't there, getting into almost like a hallucinating state where it's just like you're just doing cardistry and seeing what you can pick up on camera. So my process, yeah, it's a little bit similar in the sense of like, yeah, I wake up. Today's the date to film. Let's go improvise.
That's so great. I love that hallucinating
Yeah,
moment. That's
but
just
do you get what
that's
I
going
mean?
after your thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're like the entire intent is just to get into a state of the camera isn't there. I'm just doing my own thing. I'm doing cardistry, letting the ideas flow out, letting emotion flow out as well. Which sounds ridiculous, but I've said this before on the last podcast. But uh, I've said for me, cardistry directly relates to what I'm feeling. Right, like it's a direct thing. Whereas other forms of art, it's a link between subconscious feeling, right? It's exposing something more deep down, I guess. So for you, would you say cardistry exposes more direct feeling, or is it a subconscious thing? Does that make any sense to you?
It's definitely a subconscious thing.
Okay, that's interesting.
What was that?
I said that's interesting because for you, that subconscious, I guess, direction, like a feeling, how is that displayed? I guess, like, how would you say your emotion shows in your cardistry?
Just doing whatever you want. I
That's
mean,
fun.
like emotion and feeling, and I will come back to this later because it sounds weird when I'm saying the same. But emotion and feeling is not connected to anything that has anything to do with thoughts. Emotion and
Okay.
feeling is something that is completely, it's something else. What it is, I don't know, because asking the questions, what is a feeling, is a thought, and feelings and emotions can't be explained. Even
Correct.
like saying I'm happy is okay, but
You're right.
mm,
I mean, I
it's
guess the correct way of phrasing that would be, I guess, how does your emotion influence the thought processes? Because I think, regardless of what happens, your emotions are always influencing your thought processes.
of course, and yeah, I think that emotions are still linked to words that you think. So if you feel sad, I think you think different kinds of words than when when you're feeling
Yeah.
happy. So I guess that there is a connection there. Yeah. Um, but I'm not really sure
Yeah.
how.
I guess that's an entire topic for another time, but I do think that there's a lot of interesting bits there individually because I guess it kind of shows the differences between Cardis and I mean
Mhm.
everybody here is extremely different the way they create, but I guess dissecting
Yeah,
why everybody creates differently is something that we could dive into. It's
yeah. We'll
eternally.
definitely have another. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a deep inner thought question. So yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, so as you're filming, right, the ideas are flowing, right? Do you have a song in mind when going into film?
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yes.
when do you create the titles for the video? Like, when do you have a name for it?
The very moment that Adobe Premiere asked me how I want to export the video.
Ah, wait, but I mean, okay, so you do the editing in Premiere, but you do. I guess we'll get to that after, right? Because I was gonna say you do your titles in Illustrator, which is something I'm interested in because your
Some
titles are the
titles.
best. Yeah. Okay, okay.
Thank you.
But yeah, so you're filming. You have a song in mind. The ideas are just flowing out, right? I guess after the filming process, obviously the first thing you do is open up Premiere. Do you have any sort of workflow like tips? Just you don't have to, but everybody edits differently. I wonder if there's anything interesting that you could say.
I could just go over my process really quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just put the SD card in my computer. The first thing, yeah, whoa. No, but the first thing that I do, and the first thing that every single person that edits should do,
Okay.
is Control C, all the files that you filmed, make a new folder, press it, Control V, because
Jen.
fuck, it's annoying if you lose your files. It's
Painful.
I was like 10 minutes into Card Palace 2. I had 10 minutes of video, and then the SD card crashed, and boom, everything went away.
So yes, gem tip, beautiful. Copy and paste it into a
Yes.
Hates the
different folder.
backup.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but then you just import all the videos to Premiere, and you wait for all the videos to load, which is very important. You put the song in, and maybe you just want to start with the vibe of the title.
Mhm.
And, you know, wait, I guess that's when I come up with the title of the video. I'm sorry. You know, for Boxhala, it was very clear to me that I wanted to be this, like, it's something vague, you know, it's not really, it had to be short and powerful. So it's like, bam, it's there for like half a second. It has it's a very extreme amount of grain on it. So it looks really rough. And that's exactly like the David Fincher vibe that I was trying to get. And that rough vibe combined with the color correcting on the video gave me the you know, the product that I wanted. Also, what I think is interesting is that I always used to have a lot of trouble with seeing myself on the editing screen and hearing myself. But if you get into that like state of just doing and filming, then you're almost unrecognizable when you see yourself on the screen.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm editing someone else's video, which is really weird because you're seeing yourself do all these things, and I'm like, wait, I don't remember doing that, but I guess it works, so
Yeah.
I'll just put it in.
Would you compare that to the like hallucinating state that I was talking about? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Exactly.
Which is
Creativity.
it's an awesome feeling, but it's also pretty scary.
Yeah.
But then also the editing process is also just a manic, no, not a manic state. I'm sorry. Whoa.
I would agree though. Sometimes when you're editing for hours, you just get. I want to. Sometimes when I'm like close to finishing an edit and the finish line is right here, this last bit of editing will feel like the most painful. Yeah, I'm sure you relate. But
Manic.
do you have a
Manic.
favorite? I guess. Yeah, not that anybody should use this, but do you have a favorite font for your titles?
Oh my god, yes, I do. I have to look it up though. I used it a lot in the bundle,
Yeah.
in the recent bundle. Let me pull the.
This is an exclusive right here because this is something I'm personally interested in. Is your texts have your titles have always, yeah, you've always had the best titles in the game. There you go.
Thank you very much. Let's see. I think it was called something like Chill Sands X. And it's a really big name, but it starts with Chill Sands.
All right, write it down. But yeah,
Write it down, people. Write it down.
You heard it here first. Fede, shout out Fede. But he said other people were making moves like paintings, and Oliver was making moves like sculptures. And I thought that was a very good way to put it. Shout out Fede. And I'm thinking the same thing right now with your videos. And you are making something so different. I've seen in the chat apparently Mano Santa just put out a new video, but that's not about that right now. But I was gonna say Mano Santa. Mano Santa has like nailed the vibe. They've nailed their vibe. They were able to make something that they loved, and they were able to do it really well.
Mhm.
And you can tell it's a Mano Santa video. If there was no branding on a Mano Santa video at all, you could tell.
You would know, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same thing, and other people achieve that in different ways. I would say anyone in Fontaine, they achieve their tell. If there was no branding on their videos, you would be able to tell that's an anyone video, that's a Fontaine video. And they do that from their bar of high production. They make incredibly high production videos. They use good cameras. They have insanely talented artists because, they're the elite, I would say.
I guess,
But you are making videos that are so different and so and you're letting so much subconscious emotion go through your videos. And since you're doing it, you're pretty much most of these you said on the fly. They just come out, you know.
mm,
Since you're not thinking about that until later when you're, editing the video, or maybe you're doing it while you're doing or maybe you're thinking about it while you are making the video. I'm talking too fast. But you are able to make something like truly unique like that. And I just think it's interesting. I don't even know where I was really going with that, but I just think it's really interesting how you're able to get um, such an original vibe from it. And I wanted to talk about stuff that you participate in that isn't yours. So I
mm,
wanted to talk about one of my favorite videos like ever. Oh shit. I love that thing. That one, that video pulled me out of a rut. Cardistry rut. That was a Fontaine video. That wasn't entirely, I assume at least, that wasn't like 100% your vision. That wasn't exact. Maybe there were tiny things about it you didn't want to do, but it still came out really well. And I just wanted to know, what was it like working on it? What was it like working with such a big team? What was it like standing on a rip and dip truck?
That's what I want to know.
that shit is scary, dude. That roof is like paper thin. It's really scary. Um, but yeah, I guess that's how did that happen? Uh, well, maybe some backstory on the video is fun. I saw that Zach was going to do a pop-up in New York, a good company, Zach. I was like, shit, okay. I got some spare dollars, so I decided to book a ticket to New York. I went there and blah blah blah. The thing happened, and Matt and I, because I was staying over at Matt's place. Bless you, Matt.
Shout out, Matt.
Shout out, Matt.
Shout out, Matt.
But then Matt and I met up with Zach and Oliver the next day, and Zach, at the end, when we are running through the train, he says, "Oh, I have this new video that I want you to be in, so I will fly you out." I was like, okay, cool. And then we go in the train, and I was like, hold on.
Hold
Is that
on.
real? Did he just really ask me to come do a video? Which is a magical feeling. Like knowing that someone like Zach Mueller wants you to be in his video is incredible. So yeah, at the end of December I fly there, and we have a very fun day with Franco and Chris and all the school guys. And then the next day we go to the Rip and Nip thing, to the warehouse, which is completely empty, which is crazy because I bet that that warehouse is like $10,000 a month for rent, and it's just sitting there doing absolutely nothing.
Crazy.
Besides, of course, storing the truck, which is great. And then Ryan, from the owner of Rip and Nip, is there as well. A great guy,
Oh.
a little bit crazy, but a great guy. And then we start filming, but that's I'm just thinking something and I'm saying something completely different. So I'm sorry if I'm going in all sorts of directions.
It's okay.
But
Let me ask you: was there like a favorite funny moment from that trip?
um, well, we did 2 escape rooms with
Hey,
which
that's sick.
those are fun. Those are
Yeah.
really fun. And on the last night, we had a fucking long day of filming, and then we go to eat sushi with Megan. Shout out Megan.
Shadow Megan.
Um, and then she's like, Zach, you have to give him you have to give him a cool experience before he goes home. And it's like 6 p.m. and I fly out 9 a.m. the next morning. And then we were looking at like, maybe we can go to Universal Studios for like 2 hours. And then I was like, you're not going to pay $200 for, you know,
2 hours.
for a ticket for 2 hours. So then we were like, okay, let's do another escape room because we did one 2 days earlier. And he calls up Michael Stern, which come on, how is the experience not fun
Yeah.
with Michael? Michael Stern is the funniest guy ever. So we do the escape room. The escape room was fucking terrible, but we had some very good laughs. And we met 2 people there, which is completely unnecessary for me to tell, but we met 2 people there, a man and a woman who were lovely. They were in the same escape room as us, and as they walked out the door of the escape room, I was like, I'm never going to see those 2 people again. And it's such a heartbreaking moment. It's like, oh, how, you're having fun with someone and then you're like, all right, goodbye. I will see you again.
That brings a
Never.
tear to my eye.
Never. It's a very
Never.
real
Little
thought,
did you
though.
know. What would you do right now if we told you they're in this Discord call?
By the way, we got onto this because I asked for a funny moment, and you're like, I was saying bye to 2 people, I never saw them again.
Those moments are so
Yeah.
like memorable, and then they come up in my head and I'm like, I
Yeah.
have to tell them to get them out of the way.
So you were in another Fontaine video. You were in Fontaine Futures. And so Matt told me a little bit about the story of how that happened and how that ended up happening. I'm not sure if I remember it all, so how about you tell that? How that got started. It doesn't have to be as in-depth as the whole rip and dip thing, but just like, how that got started, what happened, maybe some visions behind it, because I am aware that apparently you and Matt were going to do something beforehand, correct?
Yes, sir. Again, shout out Matt. But
Shout out, Matt.
yes, we were going to do a video for the 80 Jugs playing cards, and it was communicating with Zach on maybe doing a duo video for the Cardistry project, and maybe not. And it was such a pain in the ass to work with him. And I mean, Zach is a great guy, but it's just communicating is not his best thing. He's better now. I gotta say that. He's very good at communicating now. Doesn't matter for now. But yeah, we were going to do that, and there was a lot of uncertainty, I guess, until like 2 weeks before we were filming, and then Zach was like, all right, can you guys come out on these dates? And then Matt was like, yes. I was like, yes. I'm just thinking what happened next, because that whole trip feels like 2 seconds. Went by so quick.
That's how all the
Mm.
Cardistry events feel, like in LA, to me at least. It's
Yeah.
like, I hear, oh, dude, Kyle's coming to town for a week. Fuck, where'd that week go? It's already done. That's how it feels. It's the best feeling, though, knowing that you spent a bunch of time with people that you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Cardistry.
though
Just
you
like
don't
those
really
escape
remember.
room people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
No, no,
It's a whole metaphor.
it circles
It
back
all
around.
comes around. Oh my god.
Try to make a video that expresses the feeling that you felt when saying goodbye to those two people for the last time. Boom ideas, exclusive.
Very much.
Yeah, I guess, is it time for questions?
Yeah, it's time for questions.
All right. Perfect,
Yeah,
perfect.
I see a couple
Do it.
people already getting into it.
Okay, what's up, Fede? Ask away.
Hello,
Hello,
Fede.
how are you? Wow. Um, so how are you? I wanted to ask you, in relationship to move creation, especially about, because earlier you were talking about stealing different things. So you purposely steal one part of a move and you make one move out of that concept that you just stole. You steal a lot of things and combine them together in just one move. What do you do?
Oh, I guess that like stealing process only that happens like automatically, and it doesn't really go for moves because I don't really understand cardistry like I understand movies. Um, so I think it's a great idea to actually steal a lot of parts from smaller parts from and put them together. I've never thought about it like that, but now that you say it, I think it's a pretty great idea. But I think a lot of my moves come from, okay, what is the craziest grip that I can get at this point?
Hmm.
And it sounds very, cliche and a bit sellout move, but that's just how I create. I just think, okay, what is almost the most uncomfortable thing I can do, or what looks the craziest, or something in that direction.
Okay.
I guess that's my creative process.
I just realized too that we really didn't talk too much about your cardistry.
Yeah, I
But
was gonna say the
yeah,
same. We talked about
the video aspect. But I think that's
yeah,
that's what makes you very unique, and I'm glad that we were able to I guess capitalize on
yeah.
that.
It
Is get a
proves
lot of
you
information.
know what you're I would say that's testament to not underselling your cardistry, but um giving your film chops what it's worth. You're able to really make something impressive. Shout out, Dylan.
Dylan,
Hello, Dylan.
Yo, what's up?
hello.
What's up?
What's up, Dylan?
So I wanted to ask, is it a good beginning area you would say to steal? Like for instance, I like Oliver type moves, but I wanted to mix a lot of your style Sib into it. Would it be bad that I stole most of your openers at the beginning of creating in the beginning of 2020 to get at least an idea of how to create moves in general?
I think that's a great idea, and not because you would steal my moves, but I think
Yeah,
I think it's
at least the
great.
openers though. I
Yeah,
took the
no, just
opener from a lot of your, I think, soul bundle or no base
Mhm.
bundle. Yeah.
no, I
That's
think
permission.
it's a great idea. If
Yeah.
you steal enough creative stuff, I'm not talking about objects. If you steal enough creative stuff, you will automatically create your own style. I was
Yeah.
a big Oliver copier like 3 years ago, and now I guess I hear that I have my own style. But I also started out, just being inspired, I guess, by Oliver and the Great Danes, and I think that's
Yeah.
how a lot of people start. I
Yeah.
see a bunch of cardists, younger cardists, that they start doing moves by other people, and eventually they make their own style that is very similar to the moves that they started doing. Feel.
I had a question though also about filming, but I don't know if you guys wanted to keep the topic of
Oh
like
no, just
cardistry
ask
related.
anything.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. My question was, whenever you have an idea, let's say it would be really expensive to get this type of set. Let's say like you had to have a whole stage for this. Now, how would you try to dim down the price of how you would set up like a set kind of like how would you budget for a like
Hmm,
let's say a budget version of like a 70s talk show and you wanted that to be your theme of like the
that's such a great question.
yeah.
But how would you create it? Okay,
How would you
if
budget it? Yeah.
you could do a miniature set.
Mhm.
And if you have a green screen, then you could green screen, you just do your thing in front of the green screen and put the background of the mini set back. And you can make it blurry, so that makes it a little bit more realistic. What you also could do is look for the things in talk shows or videos like Jimmy Fallon or the other Jimmy,
The other Jimmy.
and look exactly for the things that you don't see. Like,
Mhm.
does the roof matter, or does the background matter, or does his chair matter, or does his desk matter? And just only make the things, or only create the set with things that you do notice, and
Mhm.
don't put the things in the set that you don't notice. I guess that's
Sounds
that's
like a really good way
interesting
to look at it.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds that's pretty interesting actually. I like that.
Yeah.
I
That's
might use that.
huge. That's huge. Just like
Yeah.
the observation
Hi.
shit is huge.
Yeah, Matt moment. Shout
All
out
right,
Matt.
Matt.
what up, Matt.
Matt. Oh, there he
Yo,
is.
Yeah.
Yo. Shout
what's
out
up?
Matt. Matt, our
Thank
founder
you.
of Late Night Cardistry Live.
Thank you. Sib,
What
how
up?
you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
What's your? I'm chilling, dude.
Hell yeah.
So it's very clear that you like to use a lot of packets, but like, what's your sweet spot? Is it like 4? Is it 5? I mean, we've all seen that you can make moves with like 3 packets, even with that one move you posted, that crazy 3 packet cut. That's like
Yeah.
kind of far down on your IG. Like, you have very wide range, but what's your sweet spot? What do you like to kind of aim for? Like 4
I think
packets, 5 packets?
4 packets is the easiest to create, and then it's also the easiest to build up from 4 packets. So if you have a 4
Mhm.
packet cut, it's the easiest to add some cards or add some packets. And I guess it's the more packets you have, the easier it is to make a move look interesting. But I think 4. 4 is the sweet spot.
I agree. Very nice.
Relatable.
Beautiful answer.
Good, sir.
Beautiful.
That's a
Awesome.
crazy realization
Any
to
other
have.
questions, Matt?
Two, by the way, is the fact that 4
Um,
packets is like easier than 3 from I don't know most. I would
Yeah.
say it's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I
Sorry.
think one reason there is, sorry for like interjecting, but I think one reason is probably because there's a lot of 4 packet openers, and I think it's actually a lot easier to make 4 packet openers because everybody this is technically a 3 packet opener, but like this has been done.
yeah.
A
Yeah.
quicksand opener are another really good one. There are a couple other ones, but
Yeah.
there's a
I
lot of,
mean,
but there's a ton of 4 packet openers, like
Yeah.
so many.
I think that stems from Sybil, but I was just curious because it's interesting. Sib's one of those people, like, you're one of the only people I that, there's very few people in this community that can consistently make 5 packet cuts, 5 packet plus cuts that like look different and are unique. Because when you have that many packets, it's hard to make each packet do something unique or have a purpose or just everything. So you have that ability. It's crazy. The other question is, what'd you have for breakfast?
Oh my god, that's the best question ever.
Yeah, dude.
I had a granola. No, I don't know if it's called granola. It's granola.
He's
Granola
googling his breakfast.
Yes, but I know it. I know what it's called in Dutch, but I don't know what it's called in freaking English. What did you have for breakfast, Matt?
Bro, can I be honest? Because I knew today was happening. I had a stroopwafel with coffee for breakfast.
Shut up! No way.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Where
I
did you get
found
those
them
two
out.
waffles from?
Dude, they have them out here, but they're nowhere near like the legit ones.
Dang.
They're kind of like, whatever. But
Whatever.
yeah.
Whatever.
All right.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Let me
Matt.
look it up.
Thank you, Matt.
It's called Chrisley.
Muchos gracias.
Just Chrisley.
Go for it.
Shout
Yeah,
out
I was
Trin.
just gonna ask, what was I'm interested to know what your thoughts or process was transitioning from 3 packets, which was mainly what you did in your BCA video back in 2018, to 4 packets, which we saw in Organ Book, to 5, which we saw in Oh Shit.
Wow, that's really crazy to hear. I've never looked at those videos.
It is very well informed.
Jeez. Okay. Wait. So your question was, how do I look at that process? Or
Yeah, your process transitioning from the number of packets in general.
okay. Cool. I guess I get tired of the amount of packets sometimes. I feel like it goes with periods. Like, okay, so the BCA or before the BCA thing, I was mainly a 3-packet cutter. And then after the BCA video, I just found out that, okay, I have all the stuff that I can make with 3 packets right now. I've put that out, so it is out there for the world to see. So now it's time to go to the next thing, and that's 4 packets. And then I guess that's, the same for the time before, oh shit. So like, oh, let's add another packet. And I think it's like that. Or just, I felt the need to get that complexity that I was trying to get in some of my film stuff also in cards. I don't know if that sentence
Yeah.
was good in English.
That was great.
Yeah, that was fun. Because I know Oliver talked about his transition from 3 to 4 packets, and he said that it kind of came naturally from him experimenting. So I just wanted to know what, what that was like for you.
Cool. Good question, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
that
so
was-
much. This is going to be looked at in the future, as like the Joe Rogan Kanye moment. Not really, but just some ridiculously crazy moment. I'm literally so glad that I was able to pick some of your brains. Yeah, you
Yeah,
dropped
this
some
is-
gems.
Hi guys.
And thank you to everyone here. Late Night
Yep.
Cardistry Live.
Shout out Late Night Cardistry Live gang. Let's get it.
You guys
All
are
right.
And
nice.
I'm gonna stop recording.
Peace.